Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Rappahannock. We are delighted to see you here. My name is Marley Avant, and I will be your service leader today. It brings me joy to see all of you here as we gather in this beautiful sanctuary to reflect on what it means to live out our shared principles, to honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and to nurture the spirit of justice, equality, and compassion among ourselves. This is a sacred and safe place, and one that supports and encourages the right of each individual to their own unique life path. May we never lose sight of what a gift this is. A place of clarity and purpose in a world that often feels uncertain and very confusing. It's a blessing to be together. Shine bright, little light, shine bright. Kindle the light in all of our hearts. Today we're going to share a series of poems that we hope will resonate with you. We have some that we already planned for, and we're very fortunate to find out that there are a couple other poems that we're going to include today from the fellowship. I know not everyone is drawn to poetry. Had I not been so involved with theater, I might not have been so either. I'd like to share some words from Emily Dickinson in William Luce's The Belle of Amherst, because here she really speaks to what words mean to her, what poetry means to her, and I think it kind of captures what it probably means to many writers and many poets. Words are my life. I look at words as if they were entities, sacred beings. Oh, there are words to which I lift my hat if I see them sitting on the page. Sometimes I write one, and I look at its outline till it starts to glow brighter than any sapphire. I hesitate which word to take. There are so few words, and they must be the chiefest words, the best words. A word is dead, some say. When it is read, I say it just begins to live that day. If I read Keats, Shelley, Shakespeare, Miss Browning, Emily Bronte, what an afternoon of heaven when she entered there. And my body feels so cold that no fire could possibly warm it, then I know that is poetry. Have you ever felt that way? Or if I feel the top of my head has been taken off, then I know that is poetry. These are the only way I know it. Is there any other way? My friend, Helen Hunt Jackson. Well, she's a writer and a poet. She has the facts, but not the phosphorescence. Phosphorescence. Oh, now there's a word to lift your hat to. Can you spell it? Phosphorescence, to find the light within. That is the genius behind poetry. And yay, Charlene made it. She's had a tire problem, but she made it just in time. Okay. So, you see, taking on Emily's poems or the poems of other authors, in doing them night after night, you begin to embody them. They begin to become a part of you. And I came to understand that poetry is something that is meant truly to be felt, to be lived into. It's a gift from one soul to another, that it's an offering that transcends time. Perhaps it's love, shaping itself into words, emerging like an echo from the hidden chambers of our hearts. Okay, now we'll have a reading from Charlene.
Among the poets of Unitarian Universalist lineage, E. E. Cummings may be our poet laureate. Edward Eston Cummings was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1894. His mother and father, Reverend Edward Cummings, were Unitarians. The Cummings home near Harvard University was loving and literary, where at a very early age he was encouraged to revere words. Harvard University was his father's alma mater and later his own. Cummings' first poem, dictated when he was 3 years old, remains in Harvard's archives. Cummings spent his adult life in New York City and summers at his New Hampshire farm. He married 3 times. 2 of his marriages were legal and brief, and the other was common law and spanned 30 years. The large body of his poetry, nonfiction and drama, and a treasure trove. Though he was known for his strong rebellious temperament, the roots of his poems are evident in his father's sermons. Here is a quote on what it is to be a poet by E. E. Cummings. A poet is somebody who feels and who expresses his feelings through words. This may sound easy. It isn't. A lot of people think or believe or know they feel, but that's thinking or believing or knowing, not feeling. And poetry is feeling, not knowing or believing or thinking. Almost anybody can learn to think or believe or know, but not a single human being can be taught to feel. Why? Because whenever you think you believe or you know, you're a lot of other people. But the moment you feel, you're nobody but yourself. And he has that as like one word. To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you be everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting.
Poetry is a celebration of the human spirit, an art form that reflects the values, struggles. It serves as both a record and a vessel for cultural identity. It acts as a mirror to our shared humanity, capturing the joys, sorrows, hopes, and fears that connect us all. In a world often overwhelmed by noise and distraction, it offers a moment of stillness, a pause that encourages reflection and appreciation for the beauty and fragility of life. Now we'll have the poets that are going, well, the poet and then the readers that we have the initial poems, and then we'll ask people from the fellowship to come forward. Diana?
Most of you know me as a creative. And in these recent summer evenings, my inner muse has encouraged me to start writing some poetry. So I wrote one as I was sitting on the back porch one evening, and it's called Back Porch Musings. And it goes like this. The summer heat keeps me from the back porch. My silly project stalled. Pots that won't drain. Roots drowned despite my best intentions. The man at the hardware store said the drill would do it. But 2.5 holes in, my arms ache, the bit stutters, and I'm counting to 70 like it's a spell to summon patience. Tomorrow, I tell myself, morning light, cooler air. I stay a moment longer. I watch the ants march to the rhythm unknown to me. They never pause. One drags a beetle 4 times its size towards some unseen duty. Others circle and double back, some bold enough to cross what I've cleared the way, tiny pilgrims with no need to question the worth of work. I watch my own musings, wondering how we tend to fall back when the path is hard, how we forget that sometimes we must carry on, even when our tools are dull, even when our arms are tired. The torch is not ours alone to carry, but still we must take our turn.
This one is entitled Steal Away. It's by Esther Phillips. And she's writing about during the secret meetings of the slaves, they practiced a habit of speaking over a pot of hot water so as not to be overheard by the slave masters. Steal away. Sing in a whisper. Steal away. Don't let 'em hear you when you pray. Come in the circle. Bend right over. Drop your sorrow into the water. When you rage unleash and you feel you must shout, don't let 'em hear you. Cover your mouth. Breathe into water. Let it heat your brain. Rise up like the mist and soothe like the rain. Speak it low in the water. Let the spirit hear. Tell him you pray that deliverance is near. Sing in a whisper. Steal away. Don't let him hear you. He'll kill you next day.
This poem is by Joy Harlow. Marley asked me to read it because it's about nature. I don't know why. Remember the sky you were born under. Know each of the star stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give form to breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are all earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive poems.
Ode to the Sea by Pablo Neruda. Here, surrounding the island, there's sea. But what sea? It's always overflowing. Say yes, then no again, then yes, in the rhythmic green in the spring light. The sea confounds us with its swelling and shrinking, with its pulls and retreats. The sea sings like a guitar. The sea plucks its strings. From so much roaming, it has gathered a tone and a treasure. Its lines are musical. Neruda's poem is a tribute to the eternal, mysterious power of the ocean. Neruda returns to the sea, turns the sea into a living force that sings, stirs, and shapes the world. The poem captures its beauty, unpredictability, and majesty.
This is Why You Came by Angel Deer. This is why you came. You came to bring beauty where beauty has been exiled. You came to tend what others abandoned. You came to speak the voiceless ones, the rivers, the trees, the ancestors still waiting to be remembered. You came to become only what you can become. It is not easy. It will ask everything of you, but it will give you your life back, not the life you were told to build, the one that is yours, that has always been yours.
I'm back, but not with my poem, but a poem written by Amanda Gorman, a powerful reflection of our shared responsibilities, our interconnection, and the beauty we often overlook in one another and the world around us. An ode we owe. How can I ask you to do good when we've barely withstood our greatest threat, yet the depths of death, despair, and disparity, atrocities across cities and towns, countries, lives lost, climatic costs, exhausted, angered. We are endangered, not because of our numbers, but because of our numbness. We're strangers to one another's perils and pain, unaware that the welfare of the public and the planet share a name. Equality doesn't mean being exact, the same, but enacting a vast aim, the good of the world to its highest capability. The wise believe that our people without power leaves our planet without possibility. Therefore, through poverty, though poverty is poor, existence, complicity is a poor excuse. We must go the distance. Through this, though this battle is hard and huge, though this fight we did not choose for preserving the earth isn't a battle too big to win, but a blessing too large to lose. This is the most pressing truth, that our people have only one planet to call home, and our planet has only one people to call its own. We can either divide and be conquered by the few, or we can decide to conquer the future and say that today, a new dawn, we wrote, say that as long as we have humanity, we will forever have hope. Together, we won't just be the generation that tries, but the generation that triumphs. Let us see a legacy where tomorrow is not driven by the human condition, but by our human conviction. And we hope, and while hope alone can't save us now, with it, we can be brave. The now, because our hardest change hinges on our darkest challenges. Thus, may our crisis be our city, our cry, our crossroads, the oldest ode we owe to each other. We chime it for the climate, for our communities. We shall respect and protect every part to every heart on this earth until no one's worth is rendered by the race, gender, class, or identity they were born. This morn, let it be sworn that we are one human kin, grounded not just by griefs we bear, but by the good we begin to anyone out there. I only ask that you care before it's too late, that you live aware and awake, that you lead with love in hours of hate. I challenge you to heed this call. I dare you to shape our fate above all. I dare you to do good so the world might be great.
This is an excerpt from The Wounded Dresser by Walt Whitman. This poem talked to me because I spent some time among wounded soldiers back in 1969 when I was a new hospital corpsman, and seeing the kinds of wounds they get, and seeing the way they reacted with a lot of cheerfulness and hope. Walt Whitman worked over a period of 3 years in hospitals, camps, or field, made 600 visits or tours, and when counting all, from 80,000 to 100,000 of the wounded and sick. Those years he considered the greatest privilege and most profound lesson of my life, Whitman wrote. I can say that in my ministerings, I comprehended all northern or southern and slighted none. It was aroused and brought out and decided undreamed of depths of emotion. It has given me my most fervent views of the true ensemble that and extent of the states. Bearing the bandages, water and sponge, straight and swift to my wounded I go, where they lie on the ground after the battle brought in, where their priceless blood reddens the grass and the ground, or the rows of the hospital tent, or under the roofed hospital, to the long rows of cots up and down. Each side I return, to each and all one after another I draw near, not one do I miss. An attendant follows for holding a tray. An attendant follows holding a tray. He carries a refuse pail, soon to be filled with the clotted rags and blood, emptied and filled again. I onward go. I stop with hinged knees and steady hand to dress wounds. I am firm with each. The pangs are sharp yet unavoidable. One turns to me, his appealing eyes. Poor boy, I never knew you, yet I think I could not refuse this moment to die for you, if that would save you. Thus in silence, in dreams, projections, returning, resuming, I thread my way through the hospital. The hurt and wounded I pacify with soothing hand. I sit by the restless all the dark night. Some are so young. Some suffer so much. I recall the experience, sweet and sad. Many soldiers' loving arms about this neck have crossed and rested. Many a soldier's kiss dwells on these bearded lips.
Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door in your own mirror, and each will smile at each other's welcome and say, Sit here, eat, give wine, give bread, give you back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you've ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.
I have a poem by E.E. Cummings. And this poem speaks to me as someone that studies nature or reads from people who study nature and poems and philosophers. So, oh, sweet spontaneous earth, how often have the doting fingers of prurient philosophers pinched and poked thee? Has the naughty thumb of science prodded thy beauty? How often have religions taken thee upon their scraggy knees, squeezing and buffering thee, that thou mightst conceive as gods? But true to the incomparable couch of death, thy rhythmic lover, thou answerest them only with spring.
This is just a little one. I was sitting on my porch on Friday morning, writing in my journal, and it crossed my mind that we were having the poetry Sunday today. And I thought, well, let's just see what comes up. And so this is titled Friday on My Porch. Mid-July, languid, insects chittering, hint of a breeze, clouds, fans, tall, cool, liquid relief, grill flavors, pollinators busy, damp cushions, fireflies, bats swooping, wind chimes sway, pearls on grass, gardens blossoming.
This is called Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. If you cross the English Channel, you've probably seen the White Cliffs of Dover. So this was published in 1861. The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full. The moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast, the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. Only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land, listen. You hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling. At their return up the high strand, begin and cease, and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound of thought, hearing it by this distant shore. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies flash by night.
This is the only poem that I can remember because it rhymes. It is, and I do it all the time when we do poetry. It's by Ogden Nash, The Fly. And God, in his infinite wisdom, created the fly. And all I want to know is why?
As time passes, I wasn't thinking about it. It wasn't even yet a tick. Though I sensed the change, like cold in deep water. As time passed and left, a piece of thought emerged. How grateful I am to have lived when time ran free. Voices of love and caring, singing and sharing, laughing and growing into a free, progressive world. Hope turned into reality. Each day, new possibilities. Friends became family, as natural as humanity. Gifts, like friends, held close. Do not shed gracefully, as things that linger uninvited cling with sticky fingers. Now reflections fall away as new horizons glow, like early morning light shining first on snow. Resist the passing of time. Hold fast the truth, hard earned. Dig deep the ramparts, defend our glory or die. What cause drove us to pursue our belief? So we accepted loss, lost our defenses, so we must let go as time goes. Though it is death we will know in the end.
So Hanukkah jolted something in my memory. When I was in second grade, not as a teacher, but as a student, my teacher had a poem on the wall that I always remember. A wise old owl sat in an oak. The more she saw, the less she spoke. The less she spoke, the more she heard. Why can't we all be like that wise old bird?
I thought of Emily Dickinson's poem that I loved, that I had to quote was, "A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in half and ate the fellow raw." So I have a little short one that I wrote at a time that, I was healing and opening up to life again. It's called Axis of Love. Gently turning, leaning into the pull of wonder, the heart meets itself in every moment, a quiver, a rush, an upstart spring. It's like this turning towards life, an innocence reborn from a season dark, but it too luminous. This life ever spinning on the axis of love, seasons unfolding seasons, turning, turning, turning. Is not love a holy, rounded embrace? Okay. And thank you, all of you that contributed today. So now it's time to extinguish this beautiful flame that's been with us all day, and yet I know it has kindled the flame in our hearts, and may we just take it out into the world and share it with one another. So thank you, little flame.